My wife wanted takeout from her favorite place on my birthday, so I stayed silent to see if she cared, and the night ended with a twist that I never ever saw coming. Plus one update. I've been married for 6 years and I love my wife dearly. However, there's been a disconnect between us. I feel like I'm more invested in our relationship than she is. I'm always the first to apologize when we argue, always the one to press issues so we can talk, and the one who typically bends so we can find balance. Today is my birthday and so far it's like she has no idea. We went through the normal motions this morning, talked about our day, and she asked if we can grab takeout tonight from her favorite place, so she's clearly forgot. I'm not someone who makes a big deal about things like birthdays, but also I guess I'd like to have it acknowledged. I'd like that reassurance that I matter to people. I mean, I feel kinda invisible in my own life sometimes and I just want to know people care. I guess I'd like to know if I'm a priority to her, to see if she even would acknowledge my birthday if I don't prompt her. I mean, I took her out for hers, got her gifts she loved, etc. I'm just curious if I would even hear the 2 words if I didn't say anything. WI beta if I continue to go through today without telling her. Some of OOP's commenter, NTA, may seem weird, but I suggest not saying anything to see if she really forgot. Has this happened before or anything similar? OOP, no, not really. She has a history of hating her own birthday and tries to avoid it, so I kind of have to dance around that to show that I care. Maybe she downplays mine because she hates her own? Edika OP's motivation, I'm not doing it to be petty or anything. Just sometimes it feels like no one would really notice if I disappeared. Today just feels like that. I guess commenter, not liking her own birthday isn't an excuse. I don't like celebrating my own birthday and would be totally fine if no one acknowledged it. I always celebrate my spouse's birthday and make him feel loved and special. You would not be the asshole if you didn't remind her. Tell her tomorrow and tell her exactly how invisible you have been feeling in your relationship. She sounds self-involved, so maybe it will be a bit of a wake-up call. OOP, yeah, I think I'm just gonna go this route. I don't want to tell her and have her just be reactionary. I'll tell her tomorrow and how it made me feel and try to work on us. To the divorce comments, yeah, I'm not anywhere near divorce, just kinda hurt by the situation. Update. So yesterday was my birthday, and I was under the impression that my wife had forgotten. I got all up in my head questioning a lot of things in our marriage. My wife had earlier mentioned getting fast food from one of her favorite places, and it made me think that my birthday wasn't even on her radar. Well, following the advice I received, I didn't say anything to her. I went to pick her up from work and give her her keys. We're at one car between us because mine is in the shop, and everything played out as normal. However, instead of going to Crushed Red like she had mentioned, we pulled up at my favorite Mexican restaurant that we only go to on special occasions. Over the course of one massive burrito and some deep margaritas, we got to talking. She said it was really hard to not say anything, but she wanted to surprise me. I told her how I had felt and she was immediately apologetic. She blamed herself and I told her she had nothing to apologize for. She was trying to surprise me and I could have remedied everything by just communicating. We talked about our relationship a bit and had a good night. She asked me what I'd like to do and I just wanted a simple night, so we went home and watched a movie together. I'd been trying to get her to see The Raid Redemption, which she actually really liked. All in all, it was a good night and a lot of my fears were misguided. I felt like I owed you guys an update after so many of you reached out yesterday. Hope you all have a good day. Some of OOP's commenter bro went from she forgot my birthday to we're bonding over burritos and beating people up in the raid. Emotional roller coaster, but 10T110 ending OOP. Yeah, honestly, I can't explain it. It's what I was feeling at the moment. Figured I'd tell it like it happened. Low commenter, good update. This is why I hate surprises like this though. Like you want me to spend half my birthday being miserable because you want to surprise me later? Makes no sense. OOP, I mean, to be fair to her, we spent most of that day working. We currently work in the same building, and she didn't have a whole lot of time to dose much. I was stuck working and spiraling a bit for several hours. She was looking to surprise me with it after we got off work. OOP's wife ignoring them. I mean, I did my best to not let on how I was feeling. I think if I had been more honest about it, she would have definitely responded. She wasn't being deliberately hurtful. It was an oversight and bad communication. She just wanted to surprise me, and to be fair, she did. To another commenter, honestly, she is doing a lot. With my car being in the shop, she's driving us both to work even though I am scheduled an hour before she is. She just chills for an hour to help me out. I also probably would have gotten more attention, etc. if I hadn't been dismissive. I played it off like it was fine and gave short answers to her messages. This was mainly on me and not communicating well. Commenter, this actually made me tear up a bit. Sometimes we spiral in silence when all we needed was a little moment of patience. I'm really glad y'all got to reconnect over burritos and honest convo. This kind of quiet love and effort hits different. Happy late birthday, OOP. Honestly, she really is good to me. I was in an abusive relationship for years before her, and ever since I've been on high alert for red flags to keep from having it happen again. This leads to me sometimes seeing things in a more jaded light than they need to be. She really is great, and while communication isn't perfect, sometimes we both really try. To a downvoted commenter saying she really did forget, I'd say that, but honestly, I know her well enough to know her tells. She was being genuine. Plus, this place is the kind of place you need to get a reservation. It gets crazy busy at night. She had already booked us a table. This was planned. Commenter, I used to plan parties. After witnessing lots of people feeling neglected by their loved ones keeping a surprise secret, I started telling people not to pretend to have forgotten the occasion. So many hurt feelings that don't go away in an instant, even if the reason was wholesome. OOP, I mean, once it clicked what her plan was, etc. I stopped feeling hurt. If anything, she felt so bad for making me feel that way, even if it was inadvertent. I told her not to hold on to it and that I wasn't upset anymore now that I understood the situation. I could have said something to her at any point, but was getting in my own head and digging myself deeper. Commenter, glad it worked out. But also, if you're questioning your marriage because your partner may have forgotten your birthday, there are likely other issues being repressed, either personally or in your relationship. When you're old and gray, you're going to forget each other's birthdays sometimes. You might even forget your kids' birthdays as they age. You'll forget days that are important to others. It doesn't mean you don't love the person whose birthday you're forgetting. Life just happens. This is why healthy, gentle communication is so important, always. Hopefully you've learned that from this situation. OOP, yeah, we talked about it over dinner. Our communication had gotten lax and we just kind of fell into a daily routine. We're both committed to working on it though and own our part in the breakdown.